Welcome to Blenders Radio. I'm your host, Hey-Zooz. Today we have on the show a very special guest. We're going to call her a creator, but she is specifically a photographer, a videographer, a dancer, a choreographer, an actress, a director, and I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but she's going to fill me in to make sure that I did not miss anything. Please welcome Ashley Mccray.
I'm here. Oh, first of all, that was so good. That's amazing. So many different labels. I love it.
Well, I mean, that's you. That's your creation.
Yeah, that's crazy,
You know,
Mike Will.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So thank you so much for coming. I'm really
Thank you
excited
for
to have you
having
on.
me.
I've seen your work for about, I want to say, like a year and a half probably.
What?
So
It's
that's
been that long?
I think so. Yeah. Well, you got to think.
crazy.
You got to think.
Oh,
So
because
her
I was
not.
doing BJ.
Yep.
That
Yep.
makes
So
sense.
so Brittany, who was on the podcast before, obviously you and her are friends or really close friends and
Yeah.
whatnot. So it's really cool that I was able to get you on. And I just want to talk to you about your creative life and all the things that you're doing as far as creativity is concerned. I know that you could be super beneficial to so many people just with sharing your journey and everything that you've done. But before we get into creatively, like what you do exactly, I wanted to ask you, tell me a little bit about where you're from. Like, where'd you grow up? Like, tell me a little bit about baby Ashley.
Oh, baby Ashley, that's so crazy because I was just talking to my friends, not yesterday, but the other day about just how much I appreciate my childhood and how much I love it. Well, your girl is from Clayco, okay? I'm from
Okay.
the south side of Georgia, Atlanta. I've stayed in the south side my whole life. I went to Clayton State University, elementary school, middle school, high school, all of it was south side. So,
Okay.
I can't say I've been anywhere else besides there.
Right. I could tell by how you said South Side. You really
South
meant it. Yeah, you
side.
really meant it. No,
Yes, sir.
that's awesome. So yeah, tell me what
I
it was
love
like
this.
growing up with like as a young kid. Like what led you into creativity? Were you like naturally curious? Did you like lean towards certain things? What were you doing when you were, in your middle school days?
So, my sister, first of all, I come from a family of 7. Okay, I am
Okay.
the youngest girl. It's 5 girls and it's 2 boys, and I am the second to youngest child. The third oldest sister of mine. Is that a third oldest? I have a sister. Just know that one of the sisters out of the 5. She used to dance and she used to be inside all of these like music videos and stuff like that. And I just really looked up to her. And she just really got me dancing because I was like, wow. Like I went to one of her rehearsals one time and I was like, yo, this is really cool. And I was like, I want to do that. Like,
Okay.
I don't know what this is, but like, I just know I want to do that. But what's so crazy is when I actually started dancing, seriously, it was after high school, but in middle school, I was a part of 2 different dance groups. One group Jasmine was in,
Okay.
and it was called the Fabulous Four Diamonds, and that was in middle school. And then it transitioned to this other group called Reaction, and we went by Reaction ATL. Just depended on that. Well, it depended on who was asking because it was some other groups during the time. So in Georgia, okay, dance groups was a thing. Okay, so
Right.
there was another group called True Reaction. So depending on who was around, we was either Reaction or Reaction ATL, and that was more so like a 9th through 10th grade type of situation. But before dance, I actually started cheerleading. I was a competitive cheerleader. And then, it just switched to dance. And so,
Okay.
yeah.
How was cheerleading? How was that? Never done it myself.
Yes.
So I'm checking with you because that's always, I always hear interesting stories when people talk about that on why they got into it. Whether it be like, hey, I'm the type I like the tumbling aspect, or I'm a flyer. Like what were you? They throwing you?
I was everything.
Oh, okay.
In middle school, I started off, I think I was a flyer. I was a flyer in middle school. So I actually started cheerleading because of Jasmine as well. At this point, Jasmine, solid. But I started off as a flyer in middle school, and eventually I became a base, and then I moved to a back spot, and then I was a front spot. So I was all positions when it came
Okay.
to cheerleading. But cheerleading was really great. I did it mainly during the school year, like as far as middle school, grade school. and I did competitive cheerleading for 1 year, but it was a little bit too expensive, so I couldn't habitually do it.
Right.
But it was really great.
No, that's awesome. And one of the reasons why I wanted to dig into that a little bit more is because I know that there's so many cheerleaders out here, I think, possibly pigeonholing their life into what you can do. And I think it's not just cheerleaders, it's everyone, right? So we all sit and we're like, okay, we develop an identity in high school. This is what I do. I don't do anything else. And it's for multiple reasons, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to disappoint your parents.
Exactly.
You
Can't
don't
be a
want,
disappointment.
right? You can never be a disappointment.
You a
or
whole
anything like that.
investment. They raised you.
Right.
You gotta give them something.
Right. Always that. So that's awesome. So I wanted to talk to you now about a little bit more about what you do as far as creatively.
Okay.
So you've done a ton of different things, right? But dancing, I believe it was your intro into creativity. Is that correct? And if so, did you want that to be your opening into it, or was there something else that was like brewing?
Surprisingly, I feel like cheerleading was my intro, and I say that because when I was cheerleading, now that I think about it, it's so crazy, but when I was cheerleading, competitive cheerleading for that 1 year, we always had a dance breakdown, and the dance breakdown was like the breakdown. Like, you wanted to be in the front, you wanted to have the best, because it was different parts, so you wanted to have the best part for the breakdown. And I felt like I always got the worst part. Okay. And I
Okay.
always wanted like a better part, because I'm like, this is the part. Like, this is the dance breakdown. So I always wanted a better part. And I feel like me chasing after, I don't want to say that, but just me wanting to be better, to be in a better position for that dance breakdown caused me to just ultimately get better at dancing overall. And then, of course, like my sister and stuff. And that, like you just said, then I got more creative, because that's where the videography and the photography and all this other stuff came from.
Right. So let's transition to videography a little bit. What led you into that? What led you into that? I mean, of course, we love seeing ourselves. Every creative loves to see themselves.
You gotta see yourself.
Right? doing what you do, especially with dance and all of that. But what made you say, I need to have a production company? And can you let me know a little bit more about that?
That's a good question, because along on the journey, well, I got into videography because I had concepts in my mind, and I was like, they have to come out. And now that I'm thinking about it, me getting into videography, when I do videography, so there's a certain type of movement that a lot of videographers don't do. And when I say movement, like, I actually learned the dancer's routine, the choreo that I'm about to record, and then I find ways that the camera movement, me behind the camera, would enhance that choreography or this dancer. Or if I see like the dancer isn't really that tall, like if I get, from a certain angle, I can make them appear taller. Or if they got a big booty, and they do something, I can enhance the booty even more or something.
She said I can
Yeah, I can do that even more. But I'm saying that because I think that that's when I really got, like, that's me as a videographer, because I was about to take you down the realm of when I just started recording my own videos. But
Okay.
I think once I actually once I made that shift and I noticed, like, oh, I'm doing camera movement behind this, I think that that's when I became a videographer. And that mainly started when I was recording videos for the dance studio that I used to teach at Habitually DSA.
Okay.
And that started, the owner's brother, he used to record our videos, but y'all, he used to he would place the camera on a tripod directly in front of us, and literally all you would be getting is like our upper body. And I'm just like, I didn't put so much work into this routine. You need my legs, you need my toes, you
Right.
need my arms. Like, the frame was so that, we couldn't go too high up. Like, he didn't capture the whole, like, he didn't embody the whole movement, And when I seen that, I was like, nah, like, this can't fly. So I knew I had my camera, and like I was saying before, I was recording my own stuff, and just from that, I was like, nah, let me start recording everybody else's content too. So once I started doing that, that's when I really, like, the videographer in me, like, was triggered, and I was going, like, I was learning. I wanted to produce better videos, better quality videos. just all of that. So I think that that's really when I started like tapping into my videography skills, when I noticed the product of what we was getting at the dance studio, and I was like, nah, I need to, like, we just need better, because I
Gotcha. Yeah.
studied so much. Like, I studied other dancers. I studied LA. I studied New York. I studied all these other places with videographers and stuff. I'm just like, bro, our videos not looking like this. Atlanta,
Right.
nobody got videos for real. And everybody was recording how the dude was recording, like on a tripod, and I'm
Right.
just like, this ain't it, like, why LA, they got movement going on, New York got movement, and so the Philippines, just different places had movement, so I was like,
So
nah, we need movement.
what I'm noticing about you, because obviously, like, I think we've like lightly crossed paths, but we haven't spoken like this before.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, yeah. Nice to meet you
Nice to meet
officially.
you, yes.
Is it sounds like a lot of the things that you've gotten into was in order to solve a problem. So you, although
Yeah,
are a creator,
yeah.
it seems as if you're a problem solver,
Yes, sir.
and that's
That's
where a
good.
lot of your creativity sparks from. So when you're talking about cheerleading, right, and you're saying, oh well, I never got the best spot, and I wanted to get the best spot, propelled you into dancing, right? You had videography. You're sitting there, someone is doing it, and you're like, it's got to be better than
It gotta
this,
be better than this.
and then you began to solve that problem. So with that being said, typically what you do on the outside, you do on the inside, right?
Oh, I'm
So
doing it on this.
so I'm trying to figure out along your journey, what were some problems that you needed to like personally solve to get to, what I'm saying, to get to where you are today.
you know so many, so many problems. We all hurt, Jesus. Oh, I think now I have been more self-aware than I've ever been in my life this year. And I'm a very I think I'm a very self-aware person. Like, in my prior years, when I was 20, 21, I was always seeking, like, how can I self-improve, self-improve, self-improve. But like I said, I forget things a lot. So I feel like my present is always my best. I never think like my best is in my past. So I always think my present is my best. And so from this year, I have been working on forgiveness, okay? Because I've noticed that it's so easy for me to forgive other people, but it's so hard for me to forgive myself. Like, we all hear that we're our worst critics, but it's like I take that to the extreme. And I I used to look at it like it was a weakness, but now I just see like you just have to have boundaries with it, because it's actually one of my strengths. Like, a lot of my people that's close to me think I'm too hard on myself, but it's who I am. Like,
Right.
I feel like I'm probably this way because there's a particular mission that God has for me, either now or later down the line, and I have to be this way. Like, I can't slip up. And if I slip up, whatever it is that he needs to happen won't happen. So
Right.
I'm made this way for a particular reason, but you just have to have that boundary too, though, of knowing, you are still human. And so just this year alone, I've been really, really, really focused on forgiveness, like unraveling different layers to that for me. And I used to linger in people's lives longer than I was supposed to, and it's just a lot. But ultimately,
Gotcha.
the whole concept and the grand scheme of things was just like forgiveness. Like, it's okay, it's not forever. This isn't forever, and it's okay to breathe. It's okay to make the mistake, it's okay to fail, because there's no such thing as a real failure, like, in my eyes. But it's okay. You just got to forgive yourself. Like, it's a process. It's a journey.
Right. Right. And I mean, I think what it is when we're dealing with certain things, like the feelings that you have. I mean, I share the same sentiments, right? I'm pretty tough on myself. I try to make sure that I'm getting everything done. But I do remember learning that typically our strengths and our weaknesses, they're related to each other, right? Like, so they always touch each other in some way. So like, what stresses you out, what keeps you up at night, maybe what kind of disturbs your peace is also what makes you so excellent.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like finding that balance is really important.
Yes.
And one of the things that I noticed with you too when you released the world's first dance EP, there was a lot of conquering fear.
Yeah.
That to me was what that was.
Yeah.
I loved watching it.
Thank you.
It was great. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, but for me, like beyond the dancing, it looked like it was some sort of catharsis within you, saying that, you know what, this fear has had control, and this is me punching back.
Yeah.
So now that you're obviously more mature, I think that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was 5 years. I was 20. Yes, I did like a whole release for it. I wanted to rent out a movie theater, but that wasn't really like, practical during that time,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was an RA at Clayton State, and I was able to use one of our like mini auditorium situations and, put it up on a big screen for everybody.
Nice. No, that's dope. I mean, you can tell, like in that moment right there, that I like that you drew a line in the sand for yourself, and you're like, all right, I can't go back. I can't go back here. So that was really cool to see. So I appreciate you sharing that with the world.
Oh, thanks.
Because I get to, you know what I'm saying, because I get to benefit from it for sure.
Yeah.
And seeing that, because that does help a lot of people. Another thing that I've seen of you is I've seen obviously your YouTube channel. You have a lot of interesting moments in there and things.
Yes.
If you really want to get to know Ashley, you just go through YouTube
I'm trying to tell you.
for about if you click on like 6 videos, you'll know we're way different. I'm telling you.
Just click on 6. That's
Like
all you need.
six videos, and then separate it like episodes. Go 6 videos and then watch another 6 later on. So
Yes.
how does that feel, letting people inside your life with YouTube? And obviously you're pretty transparent there. So
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm an open book. Deep down in my soul, I know that I'm an open book. YouTube, I always say like it's my heart, because it's the only platform that I'm able to like literally release everything that I do on. And whenever people tell me like, "Oh, I subscribe to your channel," or they don't even have to subscribe. Whenever they tell me like, "Oh, I watched a video," or "I seen your video," or "I've been on your YouTube channel," or "I love your YouTube channel," my heart drops, because I'm just like, "Oh, y'all know me." Like, oh my God,
Right.
it's so many people who know me. Y'all know me for real, because I really think that that's my more authentic self. And even if it's not, I know that that's what I'm trying to give off. Like that's what I'm trying to do. So eventually it will be, and that process alone is just beautiful. But YouTube has like such a special place in my heart. I actually been on YouTube. I have started my own personal channel in 2013, but I was on there before with the dance group Reaction, and I think that
Okay.
was like 2009 when we was on there. And YouTube been a roller coaster for me, because when I first started, I was consistent. It was cool. But then it got a little weird, because back then it still wasn't really too popular
Okay.
quite yet. And so when people would tell me like, "Oh, back then the comments were more like, "I seen your little video."
Yeah,
Type
yeah,
of
yeah,
vibe,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that was never encouraging. And then definitely being on college campuses, like it's people seeing your video, So I was a little insecure back then, or just not. I don't want to say insecure. I mean, it could have been insecure, but I just wasn't as confident.
You walking your truth.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
as
I got
confident
you.
as I was now back then, and the consistency ended up becoming inconsistent. And I got to a point to where I'm just like, yo, I've been on here for so long. I seen so many other people rise. Like, they've been on here for the same amount of years or less years than me. Like, I should be further than what I am. Went down that whole lane. And when I say I rode that road so far. And it just got to a point where I was like, it's not about that. Like, girl, first of all, it's not about you. You know that you're here as a vessel. You know what you're called for. It's just a matter of doing that. Don't talk yourself out of what you already know you're supposed to be doing. It's God's timing, not your timing.
Was there a moment specifically that kind of turned you, you know what I'm saying, in a
Yeah.
way that made you do that? Because obviously, I mean, we've all heard the sayings, right? Comparison is a thief of joy, right? But was there a moment that made you say, okay, you know what? I need to transition now out of this particular mindset. Was there anything that you can think of? Was it just like a
If
spark?
there was, I don't remember.
Okay.
And it's
You're just
like
strong like that. You're
that's
just strong
what
like that. That's what it is.
I received that because my memory, I wish I remembered more than what I do, but at the same time I'm like, you know what, God, I trust you. Is the reason why I don't remember as much as I need to, or not I need to, as much as I want to. But luckily, I'm blessed enough, fortunate enough to have friends who remember certain things, or hey, don't forget about this, or you remember when you did that, or so it's a blessing. And at the same time, I just be like, dang, I wish I remembered more. Like, because certain
Gotcha.
things I remember this one time. This is when my life changed, and this is when da da da. I remember none of that.
Let's say like you're sitting here right now, right? And I was like, okay, cool. I have a time machine for you. All right. I'm gonna send you back, and you get to tell yourself at Clayton State. You give yourself one sentence, right? And then you come back here, vroom, like a vortex, right? What would you say to yourself at that time?
One sentence.
One sentence.
It'll probably be a run-on sentence.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a run-on sentence that I actually really thought through, and it's probably looking like a paragraph, but off the dome, I would probably
Because I think, watch this. Well, here's what. Because someone asked me that question, completely like jacked me up, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, what? That's such a hard question. How am
Yeah.
I supposed to know what
Yeah.
I would tell myself at like 19 years old? And the funny thing is, like, the more I tried to think of, like a run-on sentence, I thought to myself, I'd have probably been like, chill out, and then just disappeared, right? And then be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's you from 10 years,
Yeah,
10
in my
years
mind,
before.
I was thinking maybe like keep trusting. Yeah.
Yeah, because see, yeah, like I feel like you would have taken that really well.
I hope so.
You would have, of course you would have, because
It was me for me. I trust you. You right,
right. Because the thing is, I mean, we can only play our life ahead,
Yeah.
but so much. So tell me about a time you were afraid of success. So the thing is about these questions, you're making me do this. I watch your dance
Oh.
EP, okay?
Oh.
Okay, this is you.
I'm bringing
You
this
taught
out.
me. You taught me
Oh.
about this. So no, but seriously though,
Yeah.
like what was your fears of success?
You know, I don't think I can pinpoint an exact thing or like an exact example, but what I can say about that is it was one day, I don't remember the day, but it was just one day I remember feeling like, just so afraid of failure, so afraid to try and all that stuff. And God just switched that perspective so fast. And I was like, yo, what if that's not what I'm afraid of? What if I'm afraid of I actually have the talent? I'm actually capable of all this stuff that I think I'm capable of. What if I'm actually deserving of the stuff that I desire? And that scared me worse than, me not feeling qualified, and I was like, wow, like this is worse, than being afraid of failure, being afraid of success, because in my mind, I really think that's really what it is. We are capable. We have any and everything that we need, but we just don't act on it, And I feel like we pinpoint or we focus on, oh, the failure, but it's that lack of confidence that no, we actually might win. We
Right.
actually might make it. We actually might be everything that we set out to be. We actually might have all that we want, And that's just, we start questioning ourselves like, but do I really deserve that? And, just all of that. So I think, not I think, but like I said, I can't pinpoint an exact thing of like, this is when I realized or whatever the case may be, failure. I'm not failure, afraid of success. But I do remember one time just God switching that perspective. Like it just switched instantly. And I was like, wow, like I think that that's really more of what I'm afraid of, like that I actually am Ashley Mccray. Like I am, who I think I am.
Right.
Because it's like, dang, I really am her.
Right, right. No, that's huge, and I know you're big with obviously with I am. That's a huge staple for you.
I am that I am.
You yes.
Yes.
As the Bible verse hits you at the right time,
It hit at the
right?
right time.
Hit at the right time. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you believe as far as surrounding I am, because I want to know like your thoughts and your perspective on it, because that's you.
Yeah. So I was sitting on a couch one day and I was brainstorming and I was just thinking like how, we all wanted to take our brand to the next level, all this and all that. And my name is Ashley Mccray and my Instagram handle at that time was It's Ashley Mccray. But originally I always had the handle Ashley Mccray, but just something a long time ago just told me to change it to It's Ashley Mccray. And as I was sitting on the couch, it just literally hit me, and I feel like that's how God moves. Like it hits you out of nowhere, and it hit me, and I seen the acronyms IAM, and I was like, I am, and then I instantly just remember I am that I am, and I'm like, bro, I am all of these things because it was so hard explaining to people what I do. Like I despised people asking me, what do you do? Because I'm just like, y'all, I don't know. I do it all. Like
Right.
I really don't know. Like I dance and, like you said, I act and I produce my own content and I'm a videographer and I'm an editor and I'm a director and I'm a creative director and I'm a DP. Like it's so many different things that I do. It's so many different hats that I wear. I'm a choreographer. Like it's literally so much that I could never tell you one thing. But then if I told you too many, it was almost like, people start looking at you, tilting
Right.
their head a little bit, like
Right.
side
Right.
eyes, like you're naming too much, and so when I just got that revelation of I am that I am, I was like, this is perfect because this is what I am. Like, I am a creator. I don't have to sit here and restrict myself to one label to make you feel comfortable. Like you want to qualify me as a dancer. So that's what you're saying. Ashley is a dancer. No, 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 no. I do more than just dance, and then even when it comes to dancing, I'm a minister through my dancing, like it's more than just that one thing that you're trying to make it out to be for me, so it that I am, it literally just made me limitless. It made me realize just how God moves like in seasons. Like I am whatever he needs me to be in whatever season I'm in.
Okay. Gotcha.
So if I am that I am, it's Ashley McCray.
I got you. So do you think, out of curiosity, I'm wondering when someone comes up to you and they're like, "Hey, Ashley,
Hey.
you're a dancer,"
Yes.
right? Does that make you feel any type of way about the other things that you do?
Not no more. Before it
Okay.
did.
Okay. Before it
Yeah,
did.
before it
Okay.
did, because I think I think the the root to a lot of my issue was the lack of identity. I didn't really know how to classify myself. I didn't really know who I was. I knew I was a child of God, but I'm like, all right, God, I'm on earth though. Like we
Right.
give me
Right.
something practical, and just when I got the I am that I am a creator, like it made sense. And so I was able to stand tall and stand firm and be bold in my identity. So, somebody just telling me you're a dancer is I'm a dancer right now. Sure, yes. Like now it's not something that affects me because I don't receive it as you're only a dancer. All you said was you're a dancer, and that's a true statement, But there's more to it. It's commas and it's more adjectives that describe who I
Right.
am, So, but back in the day, it definitely did. When I didn't know and I was trying to figure it out, it definitely bothered me when people just gave me one label.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, there are, and I mean, I think just us as humans in general, right? We have the human language can only encompass but so much, right? In how we do things, and I don't know when I read a book recently. I read a lot of books, but
I
read,
seen.
yeah,
I seen the books. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, he be reading.
I read a lot of books, but I read one recently, and it was just talking about like how our identity, right, like shapes us and what it makes us do, and how a lot of people build from what they do, and then they try to build back into an identity, right? And I think, and what I loved about your stuff is as soon as you said I'm a creator, that created the identity, and it now like it widened what you could do, right? As opposed to being like, okay, yeah, I'm a dancer, so now what you do is dance.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're like, I'm a creator, it makes it pretty much backs people
Yeah.
off. So I was impressed with that.
Oh, thanks. That
I
was
was
all
like,
God. That was none of me, because I ain't even had the answers for you. That was all him.
no, that's awesome. Like, so I really like seeing that. That was really really, it was a beautiful thing to see, honestly. Another question I had, because it really it kind of made me wonder what you meant at the time when I was watching your dance EP, when you said fear of seduction. And then in there you said something about everybody can be sexy. There's just the right way to do it. So I kind of wanted to know what you meant by that, just generally, because to me, I think with art and with creatives, our creativity is in a response to someone, right? We're talking to someone. It could be ourselves, could be, it could be, heck, you know how it is.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah.
it could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about that. What made you pull that out of the hat?
I pulled it out the hat because we needed all the bunnies, okay? Now, for real though, the fear of seduction was really big for me, because, when we, going back to our parents, I love my mama and I love my dad. And they, they wanna, they don't want to see their baby girl like that, but it's been a lot. Like, it's just so many different things. Like, when I say so many different things, I mean, so, like, it made me want to sit up, because it's just so many different things. Like, family doing certain stuff, like, certain people in my family choosing certain paths, and then parents having that fear for you, so it's just like they don't want you to do that at all. Parents having past traumas that's projected onto you, so it's just like, I'm trying to save you, so I don't want you to do that at all. Them in their perspective and their definitions of what that means when you do it.
Right.
So I don't want you to do it at all. You're Christian, you believe in God. I don't want you to do that at all. Just so many different things like that. And I was such a people's pleaser when I was younger, man. Like, especially for my parents, I used to seek their validation all the time. It was one time, I remember this day so vividly. It was one time I kept going from my bedroom to my dad's room. And I kept asking him, like, I kept seeking validation for this one particular topic, but I asked him in 3 different ways, and he never gave me the validation I was looking for. And that day, God he stopped me. He was just like, I called you. I validated you. You don't have to seek validation from your parents. Like, this is what I'm telling you to do, so do it. Are you going to trust me? Are you going to believe in me? Are you going to have faith in me? And are you going to do what it is that I told you to do? Like, I didn't give it to them. They may not understand right now. It's not for them to understand right now. It's for you to be bold, to be courageous in what I called you to do, and for you to do that. And when he said that, I was like, okay, I got you. And that sort of kind of just led me away from seeking their validation. And I knew that seductive factor to me was something that I needed to conquer, because I was so scared. Like, I didn't want you to look at me. Like, I didn't, like, I didn't want to be that. I just really didn't want to be that. I felt like I really honed in on my tomboyish ways to protect that side of me even more and stuff.
Okay.
And it just got to a point to where I was like, no, like, I have to tap in. Like, even when I tried to tap in, I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you look crazy, But it was like, no, like, I have to tap in. I have to tap in. And eventually, that was what I thought. I thought I was just, oh, so sexy inside that video. So bad. Oh, so bad, Jesus. But I thought that was just like, I've made it. I'm out. This is, we're here. And it's just like God took that as just like a stepping stone to get me to, just being 10 times better, being able to find a new reason of why I do what I do. When it comes to different styles, because that's a style of dance.
Right,
And I
right,
don't think I ever thought about it like it was a style of dance. I think I only thought about it in like seductive ways, like people, it's sex and sexiness and da da da, and you want attention and I could care less about all that, And
right.
now, getting older and stuff, God was able to take me getting over this fear and take me towards, this is really self love. This is
Mm,
really self-expression. This is really, you being so comfortable with who you are. Like, this is really
right.
confidence. Like, so many positive perspectives on what I thought was something so negative because of all these different projections on me because of, like I said earlier, just, family choices and past traumas and all this and all that, So
Right,
that
right.
was just something really big that I had to like conquer because,
Gotcha. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
and that's something that is very apparent in your art, is that you use it as a response, both personally and social. Like it's to make a statement in some sort of way. I think that's the joy of art,
yeah.
because you don't have to explain it either,
You
right?
don't
You don't
have
have
to
to explain it,
explain it.
but you can sit down, you can put it out, and you can just see, and you can just kind of see what it does, and see what happens. Because a lot of times, I think even for me, I don't know if the people I'm really talking to are even going to see it, but
Yeah.
it's for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's for me, and I noticed that with yours as well. It just seemed like it was,
Yeah.
like it was a big thing, a big
Yeah.
thing. So I'm super happy for you.
Thank you. Can I say
Yeah,
something?
yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm
Girl, of
sorry.
course. Wait,
I'm
can
sorry.
can I say?
Because I'm like, I don't want to cut you off, but you didn't ask me a question. But I was like,
No, go ahead.
I did a video today that's going to be up on my YouTube channel like tomorrow because I upload every Friday. But I did a video today that was talking about like just different advice that I would give to my younger self, even though I'm still young, just that I've learned within my 20s basically. And I am somebody where I need to, not for everything, okay, but I do need to know why. Let me not say I need to know why. Me understanding why certain things produce certain things really helps me in life.
What do you mean by
So
that?
I got you. Okay.
Okay.
2 examples. Okay. People say knowledge is power, but I'm like, why? Knowledge is power because you don't know what you don't know. And I'm like, that makes so much sense. Another example, people would always say like, well, not even people always say, but you feel a lot better after you work out. And like I said before earlier when we was talking, like I used to work out all the time and I would feel a lot better after I worked out. And I'm just like, well, why, what is that? It's because you need to release. And I'm like, that makes so much sense. And I'm saying that, I'm the type of person where if I know why I need to do a certain thing, I can do it my way. So working out wasn't my way of releasing. I felt better, yes, but that wasn't I could release more, if
Yeah.
I knew the reason of why you feel better after working out. So I found my avenue, I condition now through dance. Like it's different, but it's the same thing because I know the root of why I do what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So knowledge is power because you don't know what you don't know. It's no way that you know what you don't know. Like it's no way possible, So that's why knowledge is power because you need to know some stuff to know that you don't know some stuff. So I'm like, that makes
That's a
sense.
mouthful, boy.
It is, but it
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, no, no. I got you. No, it definitely does. I one of the things for me, I think, and funny enough, my little brother was the one that said this. Is he was like, yeah, the thing that's so crazy about life is they don't tell you when you're young that like working out and taking care of yourself is a lifelong thing. You know, it's going to happen for the rest of your life. And if you don't do it, then it's at your expense.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take care of you, no one else will.
Yeah.
You know, like I think even people who are treated well first start with treating themselves well,
Yeah.
and then I think people match it,
Yeah.
right, with what you come in with and
Yeah.
what you act like. So no, that's really interesting. I'm trying to think with you. So with you specifically, right? With everything that you've said, trying to keep this balance. How do you balance being child of God, right? And then also embracing your, we'll call it your sexy.
No one can
Because
judge me.
okay. So my the only reason why I'm asking that, I guess more specifically, is because although I'm a firm believer in that, right? When you fall under like certain jurisdictions, right? Of what people like presume, because as soon as I say what I am, right, you run into a label, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like as soon as I'm like, hey, I am a dancer,
Category box.
right? Yeah, you get
Drop him over there.
right, exactly. That's what ends up happening. So as soon as it's like I am a Christian, right? You obviously jumped out of that box and you created your own, like you created a boat, and then you like, look, I'm doing my own thing in this boat,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you're taking your own journey. But can you talk to me about like that transition, because that sounds like that was one that you had to make, right? That was what the fear of seduction kind of was, right?
Yeah, it definitely was. No one can judge me, you know, and I mean that wholeheartedly. You know, people have opinions, which is great, but it's just an opinion. You know, it doesn't rule my life. It only rules my life if I allow it to rule my life.
Right.
And I I just realized, you know, I talk to God. I pray. You know, I talk to
Right,
God.
right.
God tells me things. We communicate. So we have a relationship. And if he's telling me, not even if he's telling me, if he allows me to feel comfortable and confident in what it is that I'm doing, how can you sit here and tell me that it's wrong? Like, the one who can judge me just gave me the okay. He patted me on the back. He said, "Good job, daughter." You know, so
Right.
no one can judge me. Like I stand so firm in that. And you know, if they try, it's cool. I don't mind. You know, like that's what you want to spend your life doing. Cool. You know, go crazy. You know.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. I literally I get curious about that just because I know that right now, especially in this day and age and of the world, like a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
You know, you wanna pursue a certain career, but you run into what? You run into the label that you had,
Yeah.
or you run into what people want you to be,
Yeah.
or you have to go home and explain it to your parents why you want to do it, and
Yeah.
that doesn't fall into, it could be how they raised you, how they see you,
Yeah.
how they whatever, right? And it does that. So no, that's really good. I think that's gonna help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hearing that.
It's God gave. You know, when I was telling you about the whole validation thing with my dad, like I understand that God gave it to me.
Right.
You know, he didn't give it to you. That's why you don't understand. You know, I'm not going to say that's why you don't understand, because your capability of understanding is there. You know, you're definitely very much so capable of understanding. But that's why you may not understand at this very second, because he didn't give it to you. You know, your timing may be different from my timing. You know, most likely it is different from my timing. But I'm saying that for like just the people who have something to say, who try to judge or whatever the case may be. Like it's cool, you know, like it wasn't meant for you right now. It was meant for me, and it was meant for whoever took it in a positive light, you know? So I understand that he gave it to me. He didn't give it to the people who have something to say. That's why they have something to say, you know? And that's
Right.
totally fine. That doesn't mean love them any less. That doesn't mean convict them back. Like, nah, it's cool.
I
I
always
understand.
my thought with it, which I love your thought with it. I really do. Like
Give me your thought. I'm ready.
no, like yours is strong. It's powerful. It means a lot. I've always thought that anytime somebody sees me, for instance, you know how it is. I mean, you're on social media, how I'm on social media. We both, have pretty high outputs in what we do, right? And you sit and then you get it's mixed, right?
Yeah.
If people love you, people will hate you.
Yeah.
Right. It's what it is. But I've
Balance.
always, yeah, exactly. Right.
You need the balance.
Keep me balanced.
Keep me balanced. Humble me.
I've always felt like one of the reasons why it's so threatening is because when people can look at you and it challenges them and
Yeah.
their own greatness and what they're able to do.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is, when you're looking at somebody, and let's say I'm watching one of your videos,
Yeah.
and I'm like, let's say I'm thinking, oh, why would she wear that?
Yeah.
Right. There's a couple places you can go with that if you really psychoanalyze that.
What size do you wear?
I can't wear it.
Yeah.
Right. Which I guess may be a threat, or it's something where I just need to project something out of my issue, of my problem. Because really, to be honest, the people who hate on you typically, or the people that have a lot to say, or the people that do that, are not the
Projecting.
ones that ain't, and they're the people who aren't moving. Because if you're moving, you don't have time.
You don't have
You don't
time.
have any time.
You don't have time
to be
at all.
able to go at anybody to say, oh, why are you wearing this? Why are
Yeah.
you wearing that? I look at other creators and I'm like, oh, that's dope. Maybe we could collab. Like I don't
Yeah.
have time to
Yeah.
to judge or to do anything like
You're
that.
focused.
And you just
Tunnel
kind of
vision.
sit. Yeah, you sit in your own glory. But I wanted to ask you, because we're Blunders Radio, right? We talk about living life, making blunders, right? We always talk about mistakes. One of the mistakes I talk about a lot is when I first started doing music, I was recording with the mic backwards for about a year.
Oh.
Thank God I'm
Flip
here
the
now.
mic.
Right? The night I flipped the mic, I'm telling you, like I was like, oh my gosh, do you hear me right now? I was like, do you hear me? Is this me? Like I was like, man,
this me?
Do I really sound like that? But what are some
What happened? What happened?
Right, exactly. But it made me experiment a lot with my sound, right? And it made me have to try different things. I mean, obviously we flipped the mic the right way, and life is good, right?
Yes.
So, but what are some mistakes that maybe you've made along the way that helped you, live life, make blunders?
To be honest, I was a hater.
Okay.
I was a hater. I think everybody was a hater before, because there's been a period. Well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but for me, I was a hater before because it was a place where I was stagnant. I was
Okay.
at a standstill. Like I said, I was trying to figure it out. I didn't want the label, and I was hating, and that was a mistake we learned from our mistakes. So I don't want to say it was a mistake, but that was definitely something where just woke up and I was like, nah, like let's keep it rolling. Like it made me understand haters more because I'm like, I get it. Like I was there before.
Right.
It makes sense. Either like you say, you're not moving or you're projecting or some type of something, and I understand you're gonna get out of it, just keep going. So it made me understand them more. I would constantly just be inside the same cycle, and like that was a big mistake for me. And what I realized, what the problem was, is that if I got confused, I never handled it well. I would
Okay.
always spread my confusion to my circle, and then when I received some form of clarity, all of that confusion that I spread it out would be projected back onto me. And then that cycle would just happen all over again. So now I'm confused again. Then I spread it out to my circle. And then now I get clarity and I'm good. And then my circle put that confusion right back onto me. And that was a mistake. And now what I do to handle it is I sit still. I let, if I am this vessel that I want God to use, like, I have to let him use me, and I have to trust him when it's his time. And so I just sit still. I do the last thing that he told me to do, and I stay in his presence. And I let him handle the confusion. I don't spread the confusion. I don't try to do it the Ashley way. So that was a big mistake that, I flipped, and not I flipped, but
Yeah,
God,
I got you. Yeah.
Eventually we learned and we understood, the proper way of handling it. So
Okay,
those
awesome.
are two I can think of.
Awesome. No, I think that if more people sitting still
It's so
is a part
it's
of
hard
is a
though.
part.
It's hard.
It is like that's it. That's another thing
Itchy.
that's important to say.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to be patient. It's hard to sit still, and then it's also hard when it just like the world. I mean, it's never one season. Right, you're never gonna be sitting in one season,
Yeah.
right? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Unfortunately, I can say it live here. I will be sad again.
Yes,
You know,
for
like,
sure.
like,
For
you know, I'll
sure.
be sad again, I'll be down again, but I'll be up again. I'll be
Yes.
happy again. You know,
Yes.
I'll be everything again.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the beautiful thing about life. And I appreciate you sharing all that stuff with us for real. I think it's wonderful. It'll be able to help so many people. I know that I'm looking forward to all of the things that you have coming.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I'm looking out. You know,
Yeah.
I try to look out every now and again. But now what I want to do though is I want to get you on a beat.
You know I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm ready for the beat.
She was ready when she walked in. She was ready when she walked in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these cameras black, and then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna make it happen. Y'all, this is Hey-Zooz,
Yeah.
and this is the wonderful creator, Ashley Mccray, who I want to really thank for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank
No.
you for thinking about me.
No problem. Thank you
thank
for
you.
taking the time. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? We all everything had to go right for this to happen, and it did. So I
did go
appreciate
right.
it. So
No, thank you. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
So no, it went just as well as it's supposed to, for
Yes.
sure. So all right, well let's cut these cameras, and then we're gonna come back with the beat, and then we're gonna see if
Yes,
Ashley
sir.
deserves a Grammy.
Ooh.
Yo, and we're back.
Hey.
We got Ashley
Yeah.
Mccray,
me slow it
the
down.
creator, on the beat.
Yes, sir. We're going nice and
Hey.
steady. We gotta take our time, y'all. Yeah. Gotta fill it out. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. Gotta fill it out. Hey. Yeah. Gotta fill it out. Yeah. Hey. Sometimes, hey, all you gotta do is show up. Hey, sometimes, hey, all you gotta do is show up. Hey, sometimes, yeah,
Hey.
all you gotta do is show up.
All you gotta.
Sometimes, hey, all you gotta do is show up. Pulling up, doing what we got to do. It's me,
Hey.
it's you.
It's you.
Hey, hey,
Hey.
I do. Hit you with them sounds. Call it what? Pop, pop.
Oh.
Boom, bop. Dot, dot. Bop, da, da, dot, dot. A whoop, wop. Hey, going off the dome, finna go home. Yeah. Going off the dome, finna go home. Yeah. Going off the dome, finna go home.
Southside.
Yeah. Going off the dome, finna go home. Yeah. But you know what I came to do, and I did it. But you know what I came to do, and I did it. But you know what I came to do, and I did it. But you know what I came to do, and I did it. Yeah, I really wish I knew how to rap, and I really wish I knew how to flow. Because if I did, you already know.
Hey.
I would be going off the dome for show. It's Ashley Mccray, and we pulling up in this hooray. Hey, I was finna say bit, but I don't curse. And you know, we going off the verse. Yeah, we going off the dome. Hey, I'm finna go home. Yeah, I said that twice. Yeah, cause that's my vice. Yeah, we do what? Hey, we gotta do. Ooh, hey. Just tell your brother he did a good job.
Yo,
This
this
beat.
is like, the thing is what I like about it is the smoothness, you know?
Ooh.
Like you came in smooth. Like you were like, I'm not gonna let this beat overwhelm me.
No, you
I'm
gotta-
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
take
tone
my
it down.
time and I'm gonna get into this. No, that's dope.
You
That's
gotta
awesome.
tone it down. Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta, you gotta make it match you.
Bruh.